The Democratic Republic of Congo, or DRC, faces massive challenges in preparing for its first multi-party elections in more than 40 years. Election officials are striving to conduct credible elections in a country the size of Western Europe, but lacking in basic security and infrastructure. Yet on July 30th, millions of Congolese citizens plan to cast their ballots, hoping that this election will mark the end to years of bloodshed, humanitarian crisis, and political strife.
A successful transition in the Congo, which means good elections leading to a period of stability and legitimacy of institutions, will do more to change the face of Africa than any other crisis at present.
IFES is playing a central role in this complex electoral process, along with many international players led by the United Nations. Indeed, this is the largest election ever supported by the international community. IFES, a nonpartisan democracy promotion organization, opened its first office in the DRC in 1998 and has maintained a continuous presence ever since. From the beginning, we have worked to ensure that Congolese civil society contributes to the nation's peace process and political transition. Today, we provide two key services. Since 2003, IFES has given technical support to the country's Independent Electoral Commission. This is the body responsible for meeting the logistical challenge of conducting this enormous election. IFES's work has included helping Congolese officials conduct last year's constitutional referendum, as well as to register 25 million voters and almost 10,000 candidates for this month's election.
It is obvious that IFES has been a very loyal and effective partner in our activities.
Another component of our work with the Commission includes recruiting and training some 300,000 poll workers. These poll workers will man some 50,000 polling stations on Election Day. IFES's other main role is leading the largest civic and voter education program in the DRC. IFES co-manages democracy resource centers in 6 regions: Kinshasa, Kikwit, Lubumbashi, Kisangani, Goma, and Mbujimai. These centers provide voters with material on elections, good governance, rule of law, civil society development, and human rights. The centers also provide a neutral place for conferences and debates, as well as internet access and training.
If I can say so, IFES aids the best members of civil society. The most important members of civil society today got their start here at IFES. They were trained here, and they got their information here.
But many Congolese citizens live in remote areas that are inaccessible by road. To reach these voters, the Democracy Resource Centers host training sessions for members of local non-governmental organizations and media. These community leaders then go into remote areas and conduct hundreds of civic and voter education activities, directly reaching an estimated 50,000 voters each month. These activities use 2 interactive training resources. The first consists of 1-page summaries of important democratic or legislative issues, which are presented in a simple question and answer format. The second is the boîte à images, or picture box, an essential tool for reaching millions of voters with little formal education. The boîte teaches voters about what they can expect on Election Day. Developed by IFES and illustrated by a Congolese artist, it informs voters about their rights and responsibilities in a democracy. It encourages voters to take an active role in developing their country, to shun electoral violence, and to hold their leaders accountable once they're in office. The technical, financial, and logistical support provided to the DRC by the international community has been vital to making this election possible. IFES, the United Nations, and other international organizations have worked alongside the Congolese people to help ensure that this election, despite its challenges, is both inclusive and transparent.
They want a better future. Every parent wants a better future for their children. They want to be able to put food on the table, and a large percentage of Congolese cannot, unfortunately, do that. And they want their kids to get education, to go to school. They want to be able to have access to healthcare if they need to. So just like every human being wants in every country.
But even assuming the massive logistical, security, and technical problems are overcome, elections alone will not solve all of the DRC's problems. The international community will need to remain deeply engaged in the country for years to come, to help the Congolese people and their leaders create a society that is firmly rooted in democratic governance, as we have in the past, IFES will continue to support institutional development in the DRC throughout this election and into the future.